Let's talk about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's star villain, the Indoraptor. This man-made creation is the epitome of what could go wrong in the world of bioengineering. Clearly more monster than animal, the Indoraptor was a destructive and terrifying force in Fallen Kingdom. But today we are going to be discussing an even darker trait of the beast. Something that may just change your mind on the 5th Jurassic Park's antagonist. Not only is this the start of the Halloween season, but it's also the start of something really big for us here at DangerVille. We just launched our Patreon. If you want to see more original content like the recent Versus animation, along with the What It Looked Like or Sounded Like series, and maybe even more, feel free to donate and make Dangerville a bigger and better place. To add some perspective, the dinosaurs of the original Jurassic Park trilogy, outside of a few occasions like the big one, or the Spinosaurus, were put simply just animals. They were good at staying alive and smart in their own right, but at the end of the day they were still just your basic-minded animals, for the most part. Jurassic World was very fast in establishing the Indominus Rex as more than just a typical animal. The inclusion of outside DNA fused with T-Rex and Velociraptor created something that was clearly edging towards being more of a monster than an animal. And when Fallen Kingdom introduced the Indoraptor, well, Dr. Wu's bioengineering had finally left behind most of what could be described as animal traits, and finally created a pure evil being. As we get closer to the Indoraptor's dark secret, let's first go over the creature's past. The thing is practically like a Dino Frankenstein creature, being created from crazy experiments other than just, natural causes. This alone was a bad start for the creature. Once it was out of the test tubes and was, lack of better words, born, then the real horror was introduced. Imagine being a rushed and non-complete laboratory experiment, but also just a baby. From the very get-go, the Indo was in pain and suffering from being not fully complete. Then you throw on top of that years worth of mistreatment and torture, and that's why you have your monster. We're going to come back to this idea here in a bit, so don't forget that. In short, it just hated to be alive, and hated anything that wasn't itself. Hell-bent on what seemed like vengeance, the Indoraptor killed anything that it could, and had a smile on its snout when doing so. Wait, did a smile? Why would an animal, bioengineered or not, smile? We know that the Indoraptor is a mix of all animals that were included in the Indominus Rex's DNA, along with much more raptor traits and a dab of crocodilian DNA. But there is one last unknown animal that is listed. An animal that had opposable thumbs, and maybe pronated wrists. Could this secret animal DNA have come from primates? Better yet, humans. We think maybe yes. If you shut out the part of the brain that tells you, that this is just a movie, then you would see the multiple occasions that clearly show the Indoraptor working with a much higher level of thinking than even the raptors throughout the series. Much more human-like. Just like the Indo's upbringing, humans who have been mistreated, abused, kept in a dark and small enclosure and receiving no love from anything, have a much higher chance of becoming quote-unquote evil or, psychotic. When you are smart enough to know that you have been wronged in your life, it usually adds up to a being that has no issues killing and actually sometimes can enjoy it. A clear trait that the Indoraptor most definitely had. The entire way the creature moved and acted just seemed like a creepy, murdering human. Everything from the iconic finger curl reaching towards Maisie and the balcony door, to the tricking and mutilation of Ken Wheatley. Plus the never-ending use of creepy and playful antics as it searched for humans to kill. Sounds more like a serial killer than a dinosaur. The Indominus Rex killed for sport, but never did it seem to appear to be enjoying what it was doing, and seemed to just really prioritize territorial dominance more than just a thirst for human blood. Lastly, and spoilers ahead, the connection between the now known to be clone Maisie and the Indoraptor is something that can't be ignored. If they had the ability to fully clone a human, then no doubt they could add some human DNA into the concoction that was the Indoraptor. It did seem like, just maybe, there was a sort of sibling rivalry that could be seen in the Indo's reaction toward the small girl. Almost like it could sense that they were much closer than anyone else could have expected. So residents, I kind of refuse to accept that the Indoraptor acted like a horror movie hack-and-slash villain just for the sake of making a scary and fun dinosaur film. That's not really what the Jurassic series is supposed to be about, even the new films. The inclusion of human or at least primate DNA, considering our closest relatives, chimpanzees, are one of the few animals in the world who kill for fun outside of humans. This is a theory that has plenty of evidence throughout Fallen Kingdom. And as long as this DNA donor remains unknown and top secret, then the Indoraptor may just have been the first and last dinosaur to ever be part human, making the horrific actions that the creature did in Fallen Kingdom that much more dark and twisted. What do you think? Jacob here, residents. I hope you liked this video. It was something that I really noticed since getting my hands on Fallen Kingdom again and watching it, and I was pretty excited to bring it up with you guys. If you think I earned it, subscribe, like, and share this topic with a friend. Don't forget we have plenty of social media platforms like Instagram where we give you a closer look into Al and I's life. Links to them down below. And if you didn't see our recent versus video between the Meg and the Mosasaurus, go check it out. A full-on 3D animated fight. It's nasty. So on that note, residents, peace out.